We're going into the final two games of the season, still with the possibility of qualifying for the Europa League. It doesn't look massively likely, though. Hello and welcome to part 138 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we're away against Blackburn and at home against Brighton, both in the Premier League. Since you were last with me, Burnley, I think, is where the chances of Europa League qualification fell away. Although, to be fair, we then beat Manchester United, so you could argue that run of four games has actually got us the 6 points you would expect from that run. So I can't be that disappointed. And in actual fact, Blackburn and Brighton in these final two games, if we just have a look at where they are, Blackburn down in 13th, Brighton in 16th. We find ourselves in 8th place, 2 points behind West Ham, 5 points behind Arsenal and Man United. Catching Arsenal and Man United is pretty close to impossible, but we do have the possibility to push past West Ham, and then that becomes a possibility of a Europa League spot, depending on who won the Cups. To make it a little more likely that could happen, West Ham are away against top of the table Chelsea, who need to win to keep their title hopes alive. And then on the last day of the season, West Ham at home to Leicester, who are also pushing for a Champions League spot. So West Ham have a really difficult run in, certainly more difficult than ours. So if we can win these two games, I think we'll finish 7th. And then it just comes down to what happens in the cup competitions. We'll check that out in a second as well, just to try and get my head around what situation we're actually playing with. In other news, I like the fact that Saidi, second top on clean sheets in the Premier League this year. £53 million, well spent. So, League Cup winners. Why is the League Cup not on there? What's it called? League Cup. Manchester City won the League Cup, so they're in the Champions League spot. So that provides an extra Europa League spot to the league. FA Cup, we're going to need to see who's in the final of the FA Cup. So the FA Cup is Liverpool plus either Chelsea or Man United. So Liverpool are there, Chelsea there, Man United there. So 7th place should be a Europa League spot. Now we just have to win our games. And this is a team that we're going to put out there to try and do exactly that. We've got Saidi in goal, a back four of Sands, Van der Horst, Lee and Riviere, with Herrera at the base of the midfield, Bishop and Kurti ahead of him, Chernyshov then in behind Kano and Dragovic. Dragovic scored one of the greatest goals you'll ever see in Football Manager. I think it was this one. I know whenever I try and show you a goal, it doesn't show up properly. But I need to show you this goal if this is the one that I'm thinking of. It won't win goal of the season because that never seems to be how it works. Can we not see the goal? I want to see this goal. I think it's this one. If not, it'll be the one he scored against Manchester United. If he scored the goal, if it was the fancy goal against Man United to win the game, he was worth every penny we paid for him. But it should. I think this is the one because it's starting so deep. We eventually intercept the ball in our own half. It's cleared down the left-hand side and ends up with Dragovic, and then he just scores an absolute wonder goal. Here we go. So, cleared forward to Dragovic. Look at where he picks it up there. Beats one man, beats another man, beats a third man, and then sticks it into that far corner. With an injury as well. What a goal. If that is a sign of things to come, potentially, from Dragovic. He's not had the best start to life in the Premier League, but 4 goals from 8 starts also isn't the worst start to life in the Premier League. He doesn't speak English yet. He's got 2 negatives. What are his negatives? Where does it say negatives? Would prefer to be part of a core social group. Has no... just settling in stuff. He'll be fine. But Dragovic showing that he might yet still be the man. If you have a look, he's starting to score goals recently. 3 in his last 4. Maybe Dragovic will end up being the answer after all. But let's get into the game against Blackburn. If he has another wonder goal or another excellent performance, then the need to bring in a striker in the summer goes down the priority list, because Kano is a player who is only getting better and better. He doesn't score a huge amount of goals, but as that support striker alongside a goal scorer like what Dragovic might be turning into, I think that could work. Go out there, give these fans their money's worth. Herrera, I think we've got Herrera and a Herrera. I think the goalkeeper on the bench is Herrera. This guy is the reason I'm not bothered about signing a backup goalkeeper. In fact, let's have a little look at him. We signed him 2 years ago for less than £1 million. He's been out on loan for the last couple of years in League One, but we recalled him at Christmas when we sold what's his face, the backup keeper, Horvat, and he is now our reserve goalkeeper. 5-star potential on him as well. We've still got Montebello knocking around the club as well, so a backup goalkeeper is not needed. So that's another position that... Oh, what a goal from Chernyshov! 7 goals for him now since arriving in January. Signing of the season, anybody? What an incredible free kick. Poor old Manu. If he hadn't have picked up that knock in January, I never would have dreamt of bringing in an attacking midfielder. But at the time, we were pushing. We wanted to try and win the FA Cup. We were trying to push in the league. And the idea of being without Manu for 7 weeks and having to rely on Taylor just didn't seem doable. So we went out and signed this guy who was literally just put on the transfer list at Barcelona. I don't really see why he came to us, but he did, and he's been brilliant. And we've gone 2-0 up. Kano with the header, 12 minutes in. It's another lovely cross from Riviere, and we're 2-0 up. I don't know how we sit with goal difference versus West Ham, but it could end up being crucial. They're ahead of us on goal difference at the moment. But if Blackburn are having one of those days, and we're having one of these days, it could be an occasion for turning around a goal difference deficit. What have we got? Yeah, we ain't turning that around. They've got 17, we've got 8. We just haven't scored enough goals this year. So we are relying on other teams doing us a favour. West Ham at the moment still drawing with Chelsea. You'd have to back Chelsea to win that game though, surely. So if Chelsea can go ahead in that game, with us winning as we are, that does then push us up into 7th place. Arsenal not playing today, so not sure. I mean, I haven't even looked at the running that Arsenal and Man United have got. Imagine if we ended up to push up to 6th place or something. That would be mad. Manchester United are thumping Fulham. So United have pretty much got 5th place sewn up. But Arsenal and West Ham are in our sights. Right, don't let your performances drop, boys and girls. We've not seen anything of Dragovic today after really bigging him up before the match. It's been the Chernyshov show. He scored 1 free kick, but I don't care. It was so good. I'm going to call it the Chernyshov show. And you're all going to like it. Kano as well. Getting into double figures finally. He took his time this year, but has finally made it to double figures. Right. Scorelines aside, we're actually doing quite well in the match as well. Head on possession. That's a ratio that's got much, much better. As we've improved the calibre of our players, we're actually getting more shots on target than we were before. We always got a lot of shots, but they would often miss. Now we probably get less shots. Oh, that's poor from Saidi. I've been so positive about him in recent episodes, but he's got to do better there. I mean, it's a good free kick, but if you're coming for that, you've got to come all the way for that. You can't come sort of hesitantly part of the way there and then let the attacker get there first. I'm going to chalk that up to naivety because he's still young, and hopefully that's one of the things that he learns from. Right, we're going to bring Adrio on for Dragovic. Kano can then revert to being the advanced forward again. Curtie's on a yellow card and not playing great in midfield, so Gonzalez can come on for him. And then we're just going to switch these roles around. So Bishop's going to become the Mazzala. And Gonzalez, probably the last, these games are going to be the last we see of Gonzalez. I doubt we're going to sign him permanently. I doubt he's going to come back next year. So these are the final days of Sergio Gonzalez. He's not dying, but he won't be a home player much longer. The loan players in general, Gonzalez, Vicenzi, not been the best we've ever had this season. Gonzalez, I think he's one I found myself. Vicenzi is one that came in from the director of football, but either way, neither of them are players that I particularly feel the need to keep around. Sands looks really tired, and I don't know why. He's having a good game, but he's shattered. So we'll just bring Pagano on for him for these last 10 minutes, where hopefully we hold on. It looks like Chelsea's still not winning against West Ham. Oh, my heart was in my mouth there, but Saidi does keep hold of it. And then he's absolutely insane rolling that out to Lee. Oh, after all the talk of £53 million well spent, if that man then gives away our chance of qualifying for Europe, I'm going to be mortified. He holds on there as well. Come on, Chelsea. Why are Chelsea not beating West Ham yet? Do they not see they've got Manchester City and Liverpool breathing down their necks? Surely a goal for them against West Ham is quite a high priority. But apparently, They ain't that bothered. They just beat us all the time. They're top of the league because they've played us 8 times this season and keep beating us. That was a bit of a 50-50 pass for Pagano to get onto, and he didn't get there, but luckily the lump forward from Blackburn has ended up offside. We were in control of that game and ended up making it look much harder than it needed to be. Yeah, absolutely Jekyll and Hyde performance. We can't play like that second half on the last day of the season. And fingers crossed we won't. But I don't think Chelsea have done us any favours there. They haven't. So we go into that last day. We definitely can't finish any lower than 8th. So it's going to be a highest ever league finish. West Ham, who were West Ham playing? Was it Man City on the last day? We need to go back to that screen again that we were looking at before. This one. So Arsenal play Liverpool. So, I mean, you've got to fancy Liverpool there. If Liverpool win, they go top of the league with a game to go. So got to fancy Liverpool for that one. So Arsenal potentially still in our sights as well. Although it's a more difficult one because both of them have a much better goal difference than us. So we'd then need Arsenal to lose on the last day. And they're playing Southampton, who are already relegated. So I think we can give up on 6th place. But West Ham at home to Leicester. Leicester will need a win to be sure of a Champions League qualification spot. Especially with Man United playing Norwich, which is a game you'd expect them to win. 7th place is still on, but it's harder than it looked 10 minutes ago. No changes for the final game of the season then. A potential goodbye for Herrero if we can't get him back next season. Obviously, we will try. He has been awesome this year. Definite goodbyes from Vicenzi and Gonzalez. Watch both of them sign permanently because I lose my mind over the course of a transfer special. But there are no changes. We just need to go out there, beat Brighton, and hope other results go our way. Let's get out there and recent. I don't care about form standings. You know what? That one. The fans have been fantastic all season. Let's go out there and give them a performance they deserve. So this is how things stand right now. It is basically us against West Ham. West Ham are playing Leicester. Leicester are playing for a Champions League spot. So come on, Leicester. And also come on home because we still do need to beat Brighton. Although I guess a draw against Brighton and Leicester beating West Ham will be fine. That would move us up into 7th place. Dragovic then. Can he score another wonder goal? Plays it into Bishop. Bishop does the wonder goal for him. Only the 2nd goal of the season for Carl Bishop. I don't know how he's only scored 2 goals when he can shoot like that. He obviously just doesn't do it very often. But 1-0 up after 6 minutes. I don't know if you just saw the league table tick over. As it stands right now, we are up into 7th place, which I think is a Europa League qualification spot. There's always the chance that even 7th place won't be. But with us ahead and West Ham still drawing with Leicester, that does push us up above them. As it stands, Bishop again can't quite get the shot away. Comes back to Chernyshov, who crosses and doesn't get anywhere near a home player. Herrero keeps the move going. Kano is there. Kano just wide from the edge of the area. These are all players who should be properly up for this. They should really want to be in Europe next year. We feel a little bit hard done by that we had the opportunity and threw it away this year. And it would be nice for us to go back and get a second opportunity at it. Dragovic now, from wide, plays a beautiful pass to Kano, and Kano can't quite get the shot on target. He got it under control well. It was a great pass from Dragovic, but Kano can't quite finish the move off. He still had a lot to do when the ball made it through to him. I'm keeping an eye on that West Ham game. I don't really care what's going on in any other games. Even if Arsenal lose, they're not going to lose by enough for us to go above them because of the goal difference. Dragovic crosses to Kano and can't quite apply the finish again. And now Brighton have got the opportunity to counter-attack. They've got a man over and Saidi makes the save. And that's more like what I've come to expect from Saidi in goal for us. I'd like him to grab another one of those clean sheets today. Get himself 2nd place as a standalone 2nd place man. That would be lovely. Kano now with the break, and there's a lot of players charging up the middle to support him. But once again, a bit of a theme of this match so far, the move breaks down with Kano. Leicester ahead against West Ham, and that is the hugest of huge news. Also, Arsenal are behind in their game. We're going to still need a further 5-goal swing for us to push up above Arsenal. But, I mean, that first half, in all 3 games that affect us, couldn't have gone any better. Passionately, keep doing it for the fans. We don't care I mean, that worked before the match. We now no longer care. But we currently find ourselves level on points with Arsenal, 3 points ahead of West Ham. A lot of things have to go wrong from this point for us to not finish in at least 7th place. Fingers crossed they don't all go wrong. It'd be nice to watch Arsenal just concede 5 goals and we find ourselves in 6th, because then there's no doubt we're in Europe. Kano now plays it all the way back to Sands. Sands inside to Bishop. There's options in the middle there. Cross comes over, doesn't go towards any of those options, and Brighton are being weird. I don't really know what they're up to there, and they deserved that to end up in the back of the net. It didn't, and the clearance from the keeper just smacked Dragovic in the face, and he's rock hard because he didn't even stagger, but it's the post, and I feel a little bit hard done by there because Brighton were just faffing about and deserved to be punished for it. Curti now plays it out to Sands. Sands has got room to cross. Cross he does, and that's the goal we deserved from the previous move. It is an own goal, but it does put us 2-0 up. A goal closer to that swing we need against Arsenal. I don't know what's going on in the Arsenal game. We're going to have another check on that in a second. But we'll just have a look at this goal from the other angle. It was Sands with the cross. If that defender doesn't intercept it, Kano and Dragovic are both there ready to tuck it in behind him. So he had to try something. What he tried didn't really come off, though. Right, what's going on in the Arsenal game? We only need a further 3-goal swing from here with Arsenal to get a backdoor Kev 6th place finish, which would be remarkable. Chernyshov to Riviere. Riviere with the cross looking for Kano. It ends up with Bishop and Chernyshov again, who's looking for the opportunity to shoot but plays it out to Sands. Sands with the cross. Kano gets hold of it but can't get the shot away, and then it's with Herrero again as we just keep this relentless pressure up. It's back with Sands, back to Bishop, to Chernyshov. Everything's going through Chernyshov at the moment. Curti's there, and it's just wide from Curti. I want to see the score in the Arsenal game. West Ham still losing 1-0. Southampton beating Arsenal 2-0. It's a 2-goal swing we need at this point. If we can score again and they concede again, I don't even know what's going to happen. If we're level on goals, I don't understand. We'll see. We'll see if it comes to it. Then we'll worry about it. I'm going to get Manu on because although I said everything's coming through Chernyshov, he's not actually got a very good rating. So I guess maybe I was imagining it just because I like him. Riviere on the right-hand side. Plays it into Bishop. Bishop forward to Manu. Manu has got a starting spot for the first day of next season to play for here. It's with Dragovic, and Dragovic scores. 3-0 to home with 15 minutes to go. 6 goals from, I think, 10 starts now for Dragovic since joining us. That'll do as a first half a season at a new club. I perhaps don't need to be as eager to replace him as I previously was. But now we need to see what impact this is having on the league table. Arsenal now losing 3-0. We're winning 3-0. But we still have one more goal to make up. And I don't really understand how. Leicester still beating West Ham. They're absolutely doing their bit for us. We're going to take Curti off. And no, you're not Curti. We're going to take Curti off and see one last appearance from Gonzalez as the playmaker in midfield. This is, of course, assuming we can find a better central midfielder this summer. Gonzalez might end up coming back. But can we grab another goal and push us up? Oh, that's got... Oh, Arsenal have scored. The dream is over. That can't be Harry. No, of course it's not. We're too far in the future. That would have been mad if he was playing for Arsenal. Herrero now plays it forward to Dragovic. Dragovic, what a pass for Adrio. And Manu's in the middle. Can he find Manu? He can. And it's 4. Home 4. Brighton 0. Now we do need Southampton to do us a favour and grab another goal. We've done everything we were expected to do as part of these last couple of games. We just need... Oh, Southampton have scored. Why are we still not up in 6th? Another goal will get us 6th place, I think. Herrero to Bishop. Adrio. If this goes in, it's obviously scripted and 7th place isn't a Europa League thing. Vanderhorst, Sands. Somebody shoot. Manu. Back to Herrero. Gonzalez. Just cross it. We need a goal. We didn't get it. I think we're going to finish 7th, and I just hope it doesn't matter. There could have been a really late Southampton goal. Who knows? That was a great performance. Fantastic result. Have we qualified for Europe? We just sit and wait now. So we finished 7th. Level on goal difference with Arsenal in the end. Presumably, it's goals scored that have cost us. 6th place. But hopefully it doesn't matter. There's no mention of us qualifying for the Europa League. Oh no. I'd like to think the final spot is given out after the FA Cup, because I think we still have a way in, because the FA Cup final is 2 teams who've already qualified, and I guess that's just not processed yet. I hope. So the FA Cup final, the league's over and they still haven't played one of the FA Cup semi-finals. But it's either Chelsea, Man United or Liverpool. Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool are all in Europe. So regardless of what happens in the FA Cup, that spot's going into the league to us, I think. But I guess we'll find out that in the transfer special, which will be happening tomorrow. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.